Daisy and I are going to show you how to teach your dog a recall and how to get that the best you possibly can. Recall is really important, especially if you want to be able to let your dog off lead. You need to be confident that they're going to come back when you call them. As a responsible owner, you need to have your dog under control. It's obviously very important for safety. You can call them back if they are heading for a busy road or something dangerous. Obviously that's really important as well. So the first step is to increase your dog's interest on you when you're out on walk. So we're going to work on them responding to their name. This is Daisy, so I'm going to teach her that looking at me when she hears her name is an excellent thing to do. So the first, I've got a few treats here, big enough that she can see in the ground. I'm going to give her the first one as a freebie, and as she finishes eating it, and she's going to look at me for another one, good! She then gets another sweetie. So I'm saying good to mark when she looks at me, good, and then her reward goes on the floor. So I'm actually reinforcing her looking at me, good, with her being able to find the treat, search for it, good. And you can play this in your garden at home, good. And you can start to throw your treat a little bit further away, good. So not only is she getting reinforced for looking at me, she's getting reinforced for coming towards me as well. Good. And she gets to chase a little treat and eat it. Good. I'm going to start moving around a little bit. Good. So once we've got this going on, we can start, Daisy, good, introducing her name as she finishes eating her treat. Because I know she's going to look at me anyway. Daisy, good. And what I want is that whiplash turn. Daisy, good. Good. Daisy, good. Daisy, good. Daisy, good. Okay, so as you can see, she's getting a nice response to her name. Looking at me is very reinforcing. She's going to do that a lot, and that's our first step to our recall training. Good girl, well done. The next step in your recall training is to really think about what your recall cue is going to be. I use come here, some people use here, some people use come. It needs to be a separate cue, so the dog's name means look at me, give me your attention, and the recall cue obviously means come to me from wherever you are. So your dog's name often just isn't good enough because they can look at you from quite far away, so you need that cue that means come to me. So we've done some work on getting Daisy to respond to her name. So I can introduce my recall cue now. Daisy, come! Good girl, with a little bit of luring. So I've got a treat in my hand, I'm saying her name, Daisy, come. Good, and then I'm luring her towards me. Daisy, come. Good girl. And obviously if you're out and about in a place where it's safe, secure, you can let your dog off and you can run around quite a lot, and always use your recall cue when your dog is coming towards you. Daisy, come. Good girl. And try and move backwards away from them if you can, because if you're moving backwards they're going to come in. It's much better to get them to chase you a little bit than you chase them. Daisy, come. Good girl. Good girl. I'm not asking Daisy for a sit when she gets to me, because otherwise I would be reinforcing the sit. I want to reinforce her right here, very close to me, so she understands that this is where I want her to be when she hears Daisy come. Daisy, come. Good girl. Should we try a distraction one again? Yeah, it's very fun, isn't it? So a few treats on the floor for distraction. I'll move away. Wait till she's finished eating those treats. There's no point in me calling her while she's still eating. Daisy, come! Good girl. Good girl. Well done. So that's how you build up your recall. If you've got more than one person can walk off with the dog and distract them a little bit while the other person walks or runs away and then calls them. That's quite a good game to play with more than one person. You can set up like a recall relay game to really reinforce it. It's really important with recall that you pay it. You want it to stay strong. You want to always reinforce the dog for coming back to you, particularly out on a walk if they come away from something really interesting. Now that can be with treats, or some people use toys. So lovely little tuggy toys are quite good. She doesn't want it, she wants eaties. But if you can get involved in a good game, you can use toys as a recall. reinforcement. We're going to get it. Are we going to tug on it? Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So it's always worth having something that your dog really likes to reinforce that recall to keep it strong. Recall weight.
Come. Reefer, come! Yay! Good girl!